the stream is, the moomins is too loud, because then they won't be able to hear me on stream, baby. Yeah, I know, honey. I know. Trust me. We can hear you. We know. Everybody can hear you, Peck. They're aware. Yeah. I know, baby. I know. I'm literally getting the stream set up right now. You will be on camera. You will be adored by your fans. I promise, Hector. I promise. Sorry, Hector was yelling at me while I was trying to finish up making my tea in the other room, and I didn't realize I had quite hit broadcast. We've got the moomins on in the background. I've just started season 1 over again because I was only half watching the other day. Getting set up here. Gonna let everybody know that I have decided to stream. I don't have anything to do tomorrow until 7, so I can just stream for a good long while until I am tired and don't feel like doing it anymore. So I can stream for a good long while until I am tired and don't feel like. But I am getting the link. Gonna post that in our fancy Discord, which now has custom emojis. What? I made emojis of the cats. We got some suspicious lobsters, some cute baby Hectors. So yeah, it's fun. I'll post a link for anybody who wants to join us on Discord in the chat. We'd love to have you. It's always a fun time. I am late for my own. I mean, I don't really schedule when I'm going to stream. I'm late for when I usually start streaming because I was playing Elden Ring quite a lot today. That it either came out today or it came out yesterday, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy Elden Ring. You know, I haven't even finished the first Borderlands game that I bought. I made a purchase of Tau recently. I don't need to be spending all this money. That's how I was. But then me and my friend Adam got to talking about Bloodborne today. And suddenly all I wanted to do was go and do a new Bloodborne playthrough. I wanted to go back and experience all my favorite excitement in Yharnam yet again. And while I was checking to see if Bloodborne was even still installed on my PlayStation, I realized that Elden Ring had came out, and that sounded even better than another playthrough of Bloodborne, so on an impulse, I was kind of like, well, the world is on fire and we're all probably gonna die anyway, so I might as well play the new Elden Ring for a little bit. So I bought that. I like it a lot. I mean, it's very Dark Souls and Bloodborne in terms of playstyle. Ain't no doubt about that, but, considering I like Bloodborne quite a good deal, it scratches the itch for something that isn't quite Dark Souls, but more on the Bloodborne side. Like, it doesn't have the aesthetic of Bloodborne, but I'm at least not yet. Not quite yet, anyway. But there's something about it that's soothing, that's familiar, that has all the like hallmarks of, I guess, just a From Software game, really. But Hector, are you getting into those flowers that you're not supposed to get into? You are? Why are you doing that? Why are you misbehaving? I don't think you need to do that, baby. Why don't you get down? Why don't you make some good choices? I would so love if you made better choices than you're currently making. There's a vase of flowers right behind me, which looks very nice. I enjoy having flowers in my house. However, the kitties seem to think that it is also just a big old playground for them to mess about with, which it is definitely not. For anyone wondering who had tuned in the other day when I had all those lovely, lovely technical issues, I did find the Bolt Boys that were missing. Hi, Christopher. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Are you painting anything currently? Have you gotten the new Elden Ring? Have you played it? That's kind of where I'm at today. In addition to it being a Friday, which is great because it means I don't have to work tomorrow. I could use a weekend. I think after the week that everybody's been through, we all could use a weekend. Shame that this one isn't a holiday weekend, because 3 days off would be nice about now. I guess technically last Monday was President's Day, but I don't think that's mattered since elementary school. I'm drinking out of a different Moomin mug tonight. It is a metal one, and the handle is currently very hot, which makes it difficult to actually drink from. So we're gonna wait for that tea to cool off just a little bit. But I did make another cup of tea. I was gonna bake brownies today, and I should have done it because I was trying to fill the time while Elden Ring was downloading. I was like, oh, I can do some of the stuff that I need to get done. And I made a phone call, but nobody picked up, and then I didn't feel like leaving a voicemail, so that phone call was useless. And I made dinner, and did the dishes, and made emotes for my Discord, all while waiting for Elden Ring to download. You're not painting anything, deciding between building and base coating? Fair. Fair. King of Fighters just released, which has taken my gamer hours. Okay, I've never heard of King of Fighters. I'm not a huge gamer. I play some games, the ones that strike my fancy, the ones that interest me, or the ones that all my friends are playing, and then I like to be social. So I play those as well. What is King of Fighters like? If you can compare it to some well-known games, maybe I can get an idea. Again, I may still have no clue. There are so many games in this world that I have not played. Also, building, what kind of stuff are you considering building? I'm not much of one for building, like, terrain from scratch. I've never quite had the knack for that, but I admire people who can look at a pile of garbage and be like, I will turn this into a city. I think it's one of the coolest skills in our hobby. It's something I could practice and get better at, but I never hold on to my trash. I tend to just recycle it or throw it away as appropriate. You just play 2D fighting games? Okay. Okay. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, just very fast. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've played I want to say I've played some Mortal Kombat. I've played some Soul Calibur, which I think is 3D, but it's that same kind of, like, fighty kind of game. I am not good at those. People are like, oh, all you need to do is memorize the combos. And I'm like, sir, I can't remember which way is left and which way is right. You expect me to remember to push, like, square, square, circle, triangle, up, down every time that, you know, the blue thing flies across the screen? You expect me to dodge? I've never dodged. No, I do dodge. I've never blocked. I don't use the block button. I don't use shields. So, fighting games are, they're tricky for me because I do not remember combos at all. Ooh, do the Ideneth Deepkin boat. Heideneth Deepkin are so cool. I love their lore. They're very interesting, and I like a lot of... I mean, obviously the crab. Who doesn't love Dwayne Claw the crab? Everybody loves crab. But, I also really like a lot of their other just sort of creature guys. The moray eel-looking things are cool. The hippocampus looking like sea dragon guys are really cool. The turtle's cool. I don't so much just love their generic like infantry and stuff, but their sea monsters are really, really bitchin'. If you do build a Heideneth Deepkin boat, you should join our Discord if you're not already on that Sweet Sugar Candy Miniatures Discord, because we have a whole like hobby desk section, and I would love to see how that comes along. I'm constantly tempted by picking up Heideneth Deepkin, and I don't know what's gonna eventually push me over the edge into buying that army, but it might be seeing a sweet boat. And I did just pick up a whole shit ton of Tau that I don't need, and I'm really excited about. Like, I can't wait to show off these Tau, but, gotta wait for them in the mail. So, you know, Heideneth could be another thing that I don't need but pick up anyway. I feel like they'd be a really interesting one, because, you know, I'm usually painting stuff to look like candy, but they'd be good for doing, like, a gummy shark, kind of color scheme on. You know what I'm talking about? You ever have those little, like, blue on top, and then they got that, like, white squidgy part? Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. They're like little gummy sharks and dolphins. That could be really fun. Oh, I didn't know they had a new Battle Tome coming out. I'm a little behind with what's new in terms of Battle Tome releases. I was pretty spoiled because Cruel Boys was just out, you know? Ah, you've seen me in Goobertown and Dana Howe's Discords. Yeah, I hang out there a lot. Without the Goobertown Discord server, I honestly don't know that I would have ever made my own channel, and gotten into things. Both Brent and Dana are incredibly supportive people who have built up wonderful little communities, but, it was very nice knowing that when I did launch my channel, a couple of the nice folks on the Goobertown server would give me some views. And they certainly did. They joke about me being famous on there all the time, which is not at all true, but it is very sweet of them to say. I get flustered by it constantly. But yeah, that's a good wholesome place, and I'm trying to keep my Discord as wholesome. Every now and again someone says something a little spicy, but that's okay. Nothing offensive, just cursed. Just cursed. Can only rein in people from the internet, but so much. Eventually, someone's gonna just, you know, flirt with a monster, and then what are you gonna do about it? We've also been talking a lot about Star Wars, because I recently watched Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I had a lot to say about it. So, there's a whole flood of Star Wars content that will eventually be replaced by whatever TV show I watch next and get mildly interested in. Okay, good. You know, yeah, the blue and clearish gummy sharks. Exactly. Yep, you've got taste. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we do have tea. I think I overbrewed it a little bit. I wish I could show you the actual mug. I have to drink the tea before I can show it off on chat. I'm so proud of my Moomin mug collection, but like looking down at it from the top with this camera, it's just like, yeah, that's a mug. And it's like, certainly is. Not a whole lot to it. Okay, it'll be out in the spring. Oh, you did a 24-hour army stream? That's awesome! What army were you painting? I'm a little behind with stuff that's promoted in Goobertown, just, you know. That server's super active, so I lose stuff in there, and, you know, having a full-time job, it's like gross. You can't be on the internet nearly as disgusting an amount as you would like to. Now that I've got Elden Ring, I mean, I was planning on doing edits and stuff for a video and being responsible this weekend, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that'll end up being half and half as I enjoy delving into a fantasy landscape full of skeletons, rat boys, and other horror. I did meet a rat boy in Elden Ring. Like, that was fun. He had been turned into a tree, and I rolled into him and broke the curse. All because he was like, "Oi, I'm over here," and my dumbass couldn't see him. That was the point. He was turned into a tree, but I was just rolling around on the ground like, where the fuck are you, man? I was so afraid I was gonna accidentally kill him. But I didn't. It's a pain to fight the camera. Yeah. Yeah. Primaris Space Marines, not your favorite, but super easy to paint fast. Generally prefer fantasy. Okay. That's fair. I have, I've done quite a bit of Age of Sigmar because these Bolt Boys, actually, they are the last models that I need to paint to have a full 2,000 points of Cruel Boys done. Like, completely. So that's pretty cool. I am, intimidated and overwhelmed by the fact that all that stands between me and finished army is a couple, is literally 3 models, so I'm hoping to get them painted. They gotta be done before the end of March, when I have a tournament to play in at Adepticon. Hector has a lot to say about that. He is not a fan of the fact that I will be leaving for several days to go and play Warhammer at a convention center, and that I will not be bringing him along with me and will be getting a pet sitter. He has met this pet sitter. He likes her, even though he's a shy boy. Hector is my cat. I don't know if you're aware of that. I think I post about him on Goobertown regularly enough, but Hector's my little baby. He's a good boy. He's just also an attention hog. Yeah, you are an attention hog. There he is. There is the baby. There is the baby. He's getting some pets. There's the boy, the little man. You act like you never get any love or attention in this world. He gets plenty. These Cruel Boys will be the first 2,000 point army that I've ever finished. Once I get them done. That's pretty cool. No, it's a goal for a lot of hobbyists. A lot of hobbyists will never achieve that goal. But I'm gonna get it done. And then I will paint up some Tau. Maybe go a little 40k focused for a while, but I think it's fun to do both, to alternate between sci-fi and fantasy. What, baby? What? I'm painting. We've talked about this, hon. He's something else. He's something else. This little cat. So chatty. Always having something sassy to say about my armies. It's nice though to have both 40k and Age of Sigmar as options. That way you can just kind of, if you're feeling in the mood for space, you got a space thing you can do. And if you are in more of a fantasy kick, then you can paint Age of Sigmar. I think I've been painting so much Age of Sigmar and fantasy that when I started watching Book of Boba Fett and getting into Clone Wars for the first time, I was really enjoying just the change of pace with sci-fi. I think I'll experience something similar when all of my Tau arrive, and I'll just be painting 2,000 points of Tau to the point where I'll be sick of it. And then we'll switch back and the whole process will start all over again. Bolt boys are pretty fun to paint though. I like that, because I do like a striped pattern across mine, like some, like zebra striped gum was where I got the colors from. And the backs of their cloaks on these ones have so much room to just do some nice freehand, so that's an exciting canvas to be able to work on. I'm looking forward to that. Not looking forward to painting crossbows. I don't like too many mechanical things, I've learned. That's not what I enjoy painting. I guess that's kind of funny going with Tau when they're all like battle suits. Those are like guys, they're robots. That's somehow different. But if it's like paint a car, paint a giant clockwork thingamabob, I don't seem to get the same enjoyment out of that as I do when I'm painting a little guy with a little personality and a little pose. These guys will be painted up with the same Cruel Boys recipe I've been working with for a while, which I think I've got memorized at this point, though I do have the steps written out in case I forget. It's nice because it's familiar, and with the world going a little bit crazy, painting something familiar is, it's quite nice. You don't have to apologize for being AFK. Dad also love that people still toss around AFK. I'm glad that that's still an acronym. But, yeah, dogs gotta go out sometimes. I'm very lucky that I have cats who will use a litter box because it snows here. I think it's still snowing here. And I don't really like going out in the snow unless I have to. Taking a dog out in the wintertime it's not fun. Yeah, plenty of textures, exactly. Like, I've done a lot to try and bring out all the, like, roughness in the Cruel Boys garb. So I think when I'm painting Tau and they're all, like, kind of crisp metal suits, that's gonna be a fun change of pace for me. I cannot remember what I painted the canisters, what color I painted them last time. I think I'll probably just do like green. Hang on. I should check. I should reference my finished product. Yes! Goober! I'm telling you, Moomins fucking rocks! Correct! Welcome. You're gonna be entering the Golden Demon at Adepticon? That's pretty cool. I will be at Adepticon. I will be playing in the Age of Sigmar tournament. I will likely be wearing a face mask that has my logo on it. Or a sweatshirt that has my logo on it. So if you see me, feel free to, like, you know, wave or say hi or be like, hey, I'm that guy who's watching your stream and painting some Idoneth Deepkin or making that boat. And I will say hello back and we can have a lovely conversation. That's pretty exciting. Let's see. The nice thing about having my display case right to hand is if I forget what something looks like, I can just grab one to reference. Goober, I'm so happy that you asked why that character wasn't visible, and then I could just tell you to go watch the Moomins, and then you did go watch the Moomins. It's delightful. I'm glad you're enjoying it. What episode are you up to? Do you have a favorite character yet? Oh, awesome. Cool. I'll look forward to seeing you there then, Christopher. It'll make me feel like a real YouTuber. I think I think Brent and Casey are both going to be there. So Brent from Goobertown and Casey from eBay Miniature Rescues. So that'll be fun. One and two plus 9. Okay, cool. Awesome. Don't you just love how in episode 2, they just start talking about this fucking hobgoblin who rides a Black Panther through the sky so casually? Like, everything about the Moomins is just chill as fuck. They're like, yeah, there's a shit ton of magical power at play here, but instead of being afraid of it, we're just gonna be kind of chill with it. Like, it's the perfect kind of fantasy setting for me, where it's like, yeah, there's aliens and goblins, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. Little Mai, yeah, she's something else. She just does what she wants. I used to not like her very much when I first started watching the Moomins. I was like, wow, she's kind of a dick to everybody, but, no, that's, like, I just hadn't quite gotten her personality yet. I quite like her now. Snufkin is, the correct choice to have as your favorite character, so congratulations, you're doing the Moomins correctly. I think Ninny the Invisible Child is my actual favorite character, because, like, relatable. But if I'm picking one of the main cast, by far it's Snufkin. Absolutely. And yes, you are correct. The Antlion is terrifying. And I can't wait till he becomes a Warhammer monster or a D&D monster that I can fight. Because, that I mean, the inspiration is right there. I need to paint other things that same color. Why do I always do that? His little belly plate is white, too. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad I could introduce you to the moomins. I hope that watching it will bring you some peace. It's a really soothing series. Exactly the kind of thing that I want constantly playing in the background right now. Since I live alone and Hector and Lobster don't really care what I put on the TV, it is moomins pretty much 24/7 when I'm not at work. I'm not ready for Jujutsu Kaisen to get emotional again, so that's just gonna have to wait. Yeah, it does feel a bit like a fever dream, but mostly in a nice way. It feels like story time in kindergarten or something like that, like when you would be shuffled on down to the library and then you'd be read a book and you were kind of drowsy, but it was nice, it wasn't annoying. That's the vibe I get from watching the moomins. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. There. It's always been nice, and the comics that they're based on are just as soothing. Hector, you pushed that flower out of the vase. Baby, no. It goes in the vase. That's where it belongs. Run along now. Go play. You little miscreant. The only anime you've been watching lately is Ranking of Kings. It gets your emotions going, but you're not caught up. That's fair. I've watched quite a few animes. I wouldn't say I'm a connoisseur or anything like that. But I think it's nice to watch animation where the target audience is, like, feels like it's more at teenagers than adults or children, and I feel like isn't really cartoons for teenagers made in America that aren't kind of lame. Like, as a teenager, absolutely wanted to see that amount of blood and violence and stuff and have storytelling that felt intelligent. Now I'm an adult and some anime feels a bit too childish for me, but like, it's good. Most anime is good and has enough bite to it that it's worth watching as an adult. Most animes, a lie. The animes that I choose to watch do. Even if I'm not exactly their target audience, but yeah. I don't like every single anime that I've been shown. And there's definitely rampant problems throughout the industry and genre as a whole. But there's definitely some good stories in there that I think are worth consuming. I don't know if the Moomins technically qualifies as an anime. It was animated in Japan by Toei Studios, at least the particular version that I'm most fond of in cartoon format, but it is aggressively a Finnish story by a queer Finnish woman. So, you know, it's got a different, like, form and language to it than... It draws from different folklore and culture and perspective, so I don't know exactly what to classify it as. It's good shit. That's what it is. That's what I can confidently classify the moomins as. Alright, I've finished my tea. So this is tonight's moomin mug. This is I like it because it looks like a little theater. It's got like curtains and these wood panels that run around the side, and then this very nice winter illustration of the little moomins. And it's I have 2 blue moomin mugs. And this one is by Merla and not Arabia, so it's not as collectible as my other ones. Oh wow, that was super off camera. Let me see if I can hold that better so you can see it. But yeah, this is tonight's moomin mug. I only have 5 at my disposal, so eventually I will have to re-show the same moomin mugs that I've drunk from before. But until that point, I'm gonna make a big thing of being able to show off a different moomin mug every stream. Because I like them. Watched stuff about it, but not watched it. It might, I mean, I guess it's not for it does move pretty slow, and I mean, it is, the Moomins is a series where the target audience is more directed at children, so it can feel kind of just like, you know, I like to say it's close in tone to Winnie the Pooh. Like, there's a nice wholesomeness to it that's good if you're an adult or a child. I think there's enough there. It's entertaining. And enough weird shit happens that you just go like, the fuck? Does that little hippopotamus troll guy really have a gun? So, you know, it's got some stuff. I don't know. It's just one of my favorite little comfort things to return to. I don't think I have to justify it any more beyond that. This is a Moomin positive space. I will not be changing my viewpoint on that anytime soon. It's a shame, I think, that for Cruel Boys, we got both, like, the kits that came in Dominion, and then they released separate kits with more options. So, like, there's a Bolt Boss who gets better power-ups for being a Bolt Boy and the Bolt Boss. But, like, I don't want to spend $40 on another kit just to have a Bolt Boss, so kind of just like, I'm not gonna buy the box. I might just stick a flag on one of these guys' backs at some point and be like, yeah, he's the Bolt Boss. Absolutely. I don't know how well that'll fly at Adepticon, though. I've been trying to, as much as possible, stick to the official models, put them on their regulation bases, and not do anything that might upset a GW tournament official in any way. Wait, that'll be painted purple. That doesn't need to be cream. This does, though. Okay. It's really hard to get to the little bits behind like, their bodies, and it always makes me go, I should have put this together in sub-assemblies. And I remember how much I hate assembly. How bad I am at gluing things back together once they've been, like, you know, cut from the sprue. So sub-assemblies, I feel like, would turn out worse than just struggling through painting the difficult parts. I'm really pumped for the fact that the Tau that I purchased are going to be pre-assembled for the most part. Because then I don't have to build anything. Your Age of Sigmar army is orcs converted to samurai styles? So is it... What? Bro, lead with that. You're building an Ideneth Deepkin boat. You have samurai orcs? Hell yeah. Dude, okay. I know I told you to join our Discord and post a photo of the boat that you were gonna paint, but also, can we please maybe just a little bit see those orcs for posterity's sake as a treat? Cause that sounds rad as hell, bro. I think samurai aesthetics are cool as fuck, and samurai and orcs together? That's yes, awesome, cool. I will check that out. I usually check Discord when my stream ends and comment on stuff. Obviously, it would be a little difficult for me to switch between painting and maintaining my Discord server, so feel free to post them. You can tag me in them, but you won't have to. I get all the notifications pretty good on there, so I will check them out. We have a lot of fun there. It's growing, surprisingly. People have been very kind to join it. Got some kind supporters on Patreon, helping me make videos happen. It's nice. I got a notification from YouTube that I've gotten 500 plus hours of watch time now, which is cool. You need 4,000 hours before YouTube will let you join its secret league of people who get paid to make YouTube videos. And you also have to have 1,000 subscribers. Frankly, I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to get even close to that, but that's looking vaguely within sight for someday in the near-ish future. You're building a Goliath Necromunda gang and helping your friend to base her Kipash Chimerics. The Chimerics, is that like that thing? They released a model of it fairly recently, but it was like a mutant thingy and it had a bow on its tail, I think. If that's the thing, let me know, because that sounds dope as hell. We are having a good time. I was talking about Elden Ring for a bit, talking about the moomins. I don't know what else I was talking about. That's the one. Okay, cool. Hector is trying to steal my flowers out of their vase. But I'm sure he'll be back to cause more mischief later. He loves to make my life difficult, but in the best way possible. She thinks the Forge Word model is ugly. To be real with you, I haven't looked at it in a while. So I couldn't say. I want to buy the Ambot for Necromunda, and I just bought a video game. I bought a lot of Tau. I need to stop buying things and start, playing the games and fucking, what else am I talking about? I need to play the games. I need to paint the models. I need to stop acquiring new models for a little bit. It's okay. I can chill the fuck out for like 2 weeks until I get paid again, and then think about buying an Ambot again. We'll see where we end up. Yes, we're still on moomins. I've got moomins in the background. I showed off this stream's moomin mug from my collection. You know, Ambot is sick. Yeah. Yeah, Ambot really is. With the conclusion of this Cruel Boys army, I mean, I definitely have miniatures to paint. I have all of the Bloodborne board game miniatures to paint. I've got the Townsfolk Tussle board game miniatures to paint. I've got some orks to paint from just random stuff, and I have some Soulblight Gravelords. But I don't, like, have a lot of GW sitting around, because I sold the stuff for armies that I didn't plan on continuing, which felt good. I'm glad that it's, like, you know, it's out of my hands now. I don't feel so crowded by it. But it's also, like, yeah, I mean, I enjoy this hobby. I have the income for it right now, and I have people who like watching me paint stuff. And Ambot seems like a really, really fun thing to make a video about painting. Like a candy Ambot, or an Ambot to go along with the Tau army that I'm gonna be painting. So, you know, that might be a good project in the future. We'll see what happens. I'm Necromunda curious, so I'm sure I'm gonna indulge in that at some point. You'll post the model in the Discord. Thank you. Yep. I'll check it out. You know I will. Oh, we were also talking about how terrifying the antlion is in the moomins. Like episode 1 or episode 2. That thing is fucked up and needs to be a fucking D&D monster or a Warhammer monster, because it's spooky. Oh, the lovely sound of a cat who is using his scratching post and not scratching up my couch. Good job, Lobster. You get a gold star. You're a good boy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that antlions were a thing in D&D and other mythologies. That's pretty cool. I guess maybe they don't have the same design as the one in the moomins, but it's pretty easy to just be like, yeah, it looks like this. Those are, antlions. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to have, like, a really weird Moomin Valley themed D&D campaign, but, like, though it wouldn't work because you don't, as a Moomin, you don't really have to fight stuff. You just kind of are wholesome, and you solve your problems with being clever and kind, as opposed to swords and warlock patrons and shit like that. So, like, I'd love something that comforting and wholesome, but I think it probably would not work in the end as a D&D campaign. It would make, like, a great town to stop in, though. It would make a great town to just have and like your players get fucked up or somebody dies, and you go spend like 5 months recovering in Moomin Valley, eating pancakes and lemonade, learning life lessons about how to just be a nice person. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's not realistic, but just know that I would like to see it. And if I make any mistakes or forget to paint anything, which will inevitably happen on these miniatures, it always does, I will just correct that when I'm highlighting. I hope. Wanderhome, yeah, I've heard of that before. I've heard of Wanderhome. I've been curious about it, but I haven't picked it up or tested it, tried it out, or anything like that. Might be worth me looking into. I was recently gifted by one of my patrons a copy of the RPG system 5 Parsecs from Home, which is like a solo wargame skirmish RPG all kind of in one. And I've been reading through that, and I want to play it and catalog some of the happenings there. But I want to use my Tau models for it, so I'm waiting for them to come in. Then I'll have to paint up some other like space bad guys and stuff like that. So I'll have to see what I need. I'm also interested in the Star Wars RPG and very excited about the fact that I got hooked up with a group to potentially play the Star Wars RPG at some point, and I gotta develop my character. So I'm super excited. I've got to come up with a good name for them. I'm either gonna make something classy and like cool and put together. That's probably not what's gonna happen. But like I'd love to make a little Zabrak, or I guess Dathomir, the things that Darth Maul is. Love to make one of those that like goes to escape their kind of shitty life and ends up being cool and fighting with the good guys, instead of being in an oppressive system. That would be fun. But my other idea is just a Thorian bard who like kind of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures themselves all over the place. But is good at heart and kind of dumb and goofy. Neither of those ideas is wrong. Neither of those ideas is wrong. I just don't quite know which is going to be a better fit for a group of people that I don't know yet. They all seem like nice, lovely internet friends waiting to be made. But that is the thing with joining a new RPG group. You're like, what is the vibe here? Gotta kind of figure that out. Timey-wimey. Hey, Chris. Now we've got Chris and Christopher in this stream. I was talking about 5 Parsecs from Home, not like 5 minutes ago, and that must have summoned you here. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you. I was talking about how I want to use my Tau models for 5 Parsecs. So I'm waiting for my full set of Tau that I bought to come in so I can start painting them up. Paint up some space bad guys. And then have my first game of 5 Parsecs. I've got a really nice journal that I can write down everything in and like keep track of everybody, and maybe I'll write some little space stories about them. I've never written space stories before, so that's kind of exciting. It is always awkward I mean, it's awkward for like 5 seconds joining a new RPG group. You suffer through one awkward session 0 where everybody has to meet everybody, and then the next thing you know, you're just laughing and making jokes because everybody's come up with characters or something. Someone rolls a couple of ones, and that breaks the tension pretty easily. It's not too bad. Yeah. Look, I'll turn anything into a narrative. Like, I'm really psyched with Elden Ring that I have been able to remake, Siobhan, my D&D character that I made that video about and how I had to leave that campaign. The fact that I can give them kind of a new life in Elden Ring, and it seems like your character kind of, like, wakes up from something, and they're called a tarnished. That's what they're, instead of being like, I think they're unkindled one or whatever they call them in Dark Souls. They're just the tarnished now. Like, that's a perfect term for that. So, because the memories of that campaign are tarnished for me. So it's pretty fun to pick up adventuring again. And even though I am in somebody else's narrative, exploring a world that already exists and already has its own lore, I cannot help but to start making up stories in my head because I don't necessarily know how all of that lore is connected yet. And so if there is, a game that encourages me to make up the little stories, I'm definitely going to do so. 5 parsecs seems the type. Oh, and do not fear. I'm painting the Bolt Boys. The lost Bolt Boys were found. For anyone who tuned in the other night, and I have a charging. My phone isn't plugged into charge. I'm keeping an eye on the battery level. When it gets low, I have a new charging brick and a charger to plug into it. So I've prepared this time. I'm much more professional. We're not going to have the same issues. New issues are fine, but we will not have the same ones. Yeah. Wasn't gonna have the same mistakes, but new ones will welcome those. Those are new opportunities to learn from. I had like a progress check-in at my job today. And I wish that like people who got to be in management positions actually like came prepared for those ever, because my team trainer person was just basically like, well, how are you feeling? And what do you feel like you need to work on? And I'm like, aren't you supposed to be training me? Aren't you supposed to tell me what I need to work on? Like, observe the things that I've done and give me feedback on them? Like, why the fuck do I have to do my job and your job too? Am I watching the Moomins? Yes, the Moomins is on in the background. We are midway through episode 2 of season 1. No, we're midway through episode 3 of season 1. It's just on in a continuous stream. I just started it over, because I'd been watching some episodes and then I tuned out for some, and it's on YouTube. I've just hit it. It's on my TV. It's fine. Moomins in the background. Just consider the background noise. Like, you know how they have those ASMRs that are like, this record playing from another room. Just Moomins playing from another room. That's what's going on here. Except in my case, it's the same room, because my house is the layout that it is. gonna try out your terrain boards on Sunday, and I'm excited for you. You better take, like, 2 trillion photos, because I want to see those bad boys in action. You've worked so hard at them. They deserve to, like, be seen and used and, gamed with. And Hector agrees, because he bothered to chime in. Ah, oh, damn it, my Discord be blooping every time, Fives, every time. How do it be blooping? I am muted. I'll just X out of my Discord tab. And the volume should be down on my phone. If it's doing it on my phone, I don't know how to fix that. But I did just close out of Discord on my computer, so maybe it'll stop blooping. If not, well, you just know how fire our Discord is. It's always popping with people posting cool shit. Now we have cat emotes. We got 2 of you, Hector. We do! We do, baby! With the baby. You want to see? You want to say hello to everybody, Heck? You do? Yeah. You've been such a naughty boy today. You have not behaved yourself at all. He's been trying to tear up the flowers in the vase that I have, So, he's just been a nightmare. Oh, it looks like my video froze. Let me see if I can fix that. Oop. At least it froze on Hector. That's what everybody wants to see. That's what everybody wants to see. They want to see you, baby. Yeah. He's got his cute little yellow bow collar on, too. You just look like a sweetie. Yeah. You like getting your chin scritched? Your ears scritched? I noticed that my camera froze this time. Sometimes I don't. But this time I did notice. So, you know, that's pretty cool. We just got more Hector footage, though. It's okay. It's valuable footage for the archive of me constantly taking photos of my cats. Shit, they got the little ending theme song of the Moomins playing right now, and it is only... It's only, you know, a couple episodes and a little bit later at night when I'm a little more tired before I start belting that for you at the top of my lungs. And I do not sing well, so apologies in advance for when that inevitably happens. I cannot be held responsible for any lasting eardrum damage. You are not a captive audience. You can leave at any time. I appreciate the fact that you choose to stay here and hang out with me. But don't sue me when my poor singing of the Moomins ending theme song does in fact rupture your eardrums. Cannot be held liable for that. All I was trying to do was have a good time. I think I fixed the camera. It looks like I have to me, but if the camera is still looking frozen to you, please do let me know so that I can get that corrected. I've been thinking of trying to, Chris is out of here. He needs those eardrums. I've been thinking of trying to set up, once I get a nicer camera to do videos with, of using my phone and just having it set up to look at the cat tree. I don't think I'd ever do a face cam, but I think it would be kind of fun to have a cat cam. Just see what Lobster and Hector are up to while I'm streaming. If you think that would be a fun idea, do let me know, because I think it would be cute. It's working. Okay, cool. Cool. You know, that is one thing I love about streaming, is that streamers will almost always ask, like, is my audio good? Is my camera working? And people are so quick to jump on responding to that. They're really there to help you out, and that's so sweet and nice. I always think that nobody's gonna show up when I do a stream, and I've yet to have one stream where 0 people show up, and it's very nice. It's reassuring to know that there are a couple people out there. Just want to spend an evening hanging out, talking about orks and moomins and all the fun stuff in life. I'd also planned to bake brownies while I was waiting for Elden Ring to install. I did not do that. I will bake brownies either late night tonight, or tomorrow. I like having sweets on hand, because life is stressful. And you know what makes it better? A warm little brownie with some walnuts on it. Love that in my life. You can't have brownies, Hector. They've got chocolate in them. Maybe next time I go to the store, I'll pick up some tuna fish and you can have some of that. I will probably not pick up tuna fish. But we'll find something that we can get you as a special treat. Even though you don't really like human food, Hector. We've tried a couple of, like, treat human foods and you're just not interested. Lobster will murder somebody for an egg, or a bit of bread, or anything, really. Tacos, especially, he loves. Hector has only shown interest in cherry ice cream. Cherry Garcia by Ben & Jerry's, specifically, which has chocolate pieces in it, so obviously he can't have any, and I did not give it to him. But it was very weird. That was the only thing, the only piece of human food he has ever actively tried to steal. Like, I had set the lid down, and he got a lick or two off of that just because I wasn't paying attention, which, you know, happens. He wasn't sick or anything. He's fine. But, like, I was so genuinely shocked because he had just ignored all human food before that I was like, what the fuck? Why is this is what does it for you, huh, baby? So random. Yeah, eating our feelings. It happens sometimes. Listen, I have a job that's occasionally stressful. That means I get to eat as many brownies as I want. We're also living in the pandemic apocalypse possible war, so I think the least of my sins is occasionally having some home-baked treats. And by home-baked, I mean I bought the box of mix at the store, I brought it home, and I will bake it in my home oven as opposed to buying pre-made brownies. But, yeah. Ain't nobody got time for a double boil. If I can't be bothered to thin my fucking paints, I'm certainly not setting up a goddamn bain-marie just so I can have some brownies. You want me to melt my own chocolate? No, sir. No. This is not Great British Bake Off, as much as some days I would like it to be. I am not going to that level of effort. It's just not gonna happen. It is, yeah, unfortunately, the job that I have is taking phone calls for a healthcare company, to do that. I don't love this work, but it does pay enough and is something I can do without leaving the house now, so it's fine for now. It won't be forever. It would be ideal to be able to do the YouTube thing full time, I won't lie to you. That is a nice, it's a nice future to dream about. I don't know how realistic it is as a goal. It's something I will take the plunge and do if it ever becomes to the point where, I can support myself off YouTube. That is definitely something I would like to do. I just, gotta, gotta get all this stuff figured out first. I'm still establishing my presence here on the old YouTubes, and that's perfectly fine. I'm in no rush to grow. I can take my time, and that's quite nice. Figure out exactly the feel I want for this channel and stuff like that. Make videos that I care about. That's what I've been trying to do. Got a nice one that'll be coming out soon. I get to talk about some animation history, connect that to miniature painting. So, I did go to school for animation. Couldn't work in the industry because A, the industry is gross in terms of pace and how much burnout and crunch there is. Also, I have anxiety, and that doesn't work well with that industry. And tertiarily, the school that I went to was not great. So, there's a lot of factors. I didn't want to spend my whole life trying to market myself for the potential to have the chance to maybe work in the animation industry. But I still have a great passion for animation's history, its trivia, its art form. It's really nice to find that I have even if it's a relatively small platform, I do have a tiny soapbox that I can get up on and shout about how cool some animation stuff is. Yeah, it is very similar to the games industry for a lot of things. And I mean, a lot of the animation industry and the games industry are, they're tied together in a way because you have 3D modelers and you have animators, so often those professions will exchange animators, or people will bounce from one industry to another. If you're a background artist, you can work for video games or movies or whatever. It's all very, very closely intertwined. Well, you're definitely gonna get a lesson in my next video, which I am working on. I specifically told someone, was like, hey, do you want to do something this Saturday in the morning? And I was like, nope, that is time that I have scheduled out my life to work on videos. Like, I intentionally set that time aside. I was like, I have plans, so I've made commitments. I've blocked out time, which is good. I like that I get to block out time for this. It's not like in an antisocial way or anything like that. It's like, no, Five's made a plan for their weekend, and that's part of what I want to do. Elden Ring has almost ruined those plans, though, as I am very tempted to just kind of throw caution to the wind and play more of my fun new video game. But no, I'm going to be at least partially responsible and do some of the stuff that I had planned. It means the editing of the video might not get done on Saturday. That might be a Sunday project. We'll see. But it does mean that the fun intro that I was thinking of shooting will get done on Saturday before I start playing video games. That's the key. If I do it before, then I get to play video games after. If I'm like, I'll just play some video games and then accomplish a task, that task is never getting done. Never getting done. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Those are some great plans, Chris. I have some plans on Sunday. It is the finals for my Age of Sigmar Escalation League, so I have Age of Sigmar game, and we have the judging for the painting contest portion of this Escalation League. But I will not get to find out the results of the painting competition judging until next, like, our little, like, kind of league and review day, where there will be prizes awarded and people will be hanging out for one big, like, the top 4 get to participate in some kind of big ass battle. It'll be fun to see, you know, that kind of stuff. Our league runner is gonna have some kind of, like, narrative conclusion for things and all that kind of fun, flavorful little garbage. I keep saying we need decorations or, like, a logo or some cupcakes, and he has no razzle dazzle in him, so I will have to see about bringing in the razzle and the dazzle. Well, thanks for stopping in, GMJ. Sorry you have to get going. Maybe you have to, like, sleep or accomplish human tasks that are not just paint mini and do nothing. Which is probably, you know, for the best. But you have a good rest of your night, evening, day, whatever time it is in your part of the world. Tasks, my only weakness. Yeah, some days is how it be. You know, Hector, that door is open. I don't know why you're playing with it like it's not. It's cracked, because if I don't leave that door open, you'll meow at me. But you're just over there burbling at the door like it's closed. You silly little goof. You silly little goof. I'm hoping I do well in the painting competition. I have worked extremely hard to get this army looking the way that I want. And while I have absolutely zero chance of winning any awards at Adepticon for this army, because, you know, people have their, like, golden demon level armies that they've been refining for years and shit, like, you know, they're just more experienced painters. I don't really stand a chance there. Within my local league, my small pool of peers, stand a much better chance. So I've got some hopes. We'll see. It'll be interesting too, because apparently there are some prizes, and I've never won any kind of prize or award for most things in my life, so we'll see. I will definitely keep you guys posted with the results. But those won't be for a few weeks, so you gotta sit on the edge of your seat like me. See what happens. Alright. It's nice to be getting these base coats done, though. Not gonna lie. I am, a little nervous about finishing 3 Bolt Boys for Adepticon. You guys have watched me paint up how many orcs on these streams recently, but I'm just like, can I really accomplish 3 models before the end of next month? Yeah, I can. I definitely can. Like, Marathi got done. She's on the finished list. That was a big project that is finally, like, off my chest. And that feels good. I'm never painting a Daughters of Cain model again. I think, you know, that's gonna be, I tried it, that army isn't for me in terms of what I like to paint. Just not chonky, you know? I like a bit of chonk. Oh, I did find while organizing stuff the other day, because I was working on, like, just absent-mindedly pulling stuff from my, work in progress areas to show on, like, I had finished something and needed another thing to work on. But this is my, work in progress for my Soulblight Gravelords, army. These are the Blood Knights that I'm working on. Got the, horses and the little knights on there. Still a lot to do and a lot to go, but yeah. I've gotta, like, compare this to the lady, the big tall lady. Make sure they fit. It's like part of the same army. Yeah, I think, you know, that's justified. I should probably paint some aspects of the armor red to help that fit in. But I think they belong together, relatively speaking. I could have some of the purple metallic armor incorporated as well, but she's like a really fancy general, and I feel like she doesn't have to have the more like worn looking aspect of this armor if she doesn't want to. I definitely feel like the gold is more of a flashy standout. I'm the important boss of this, the leader of this cult kind of thing. Did my fucking footage stop again? Yep. Hang on. Let's see. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed. No worries. It's fine. Just gonna try a few things. Don't panic. Don't panic. There we go. We're back. Alright. So this is the lady that I was painting. Right? She's kinda cool. And then this is one of my Blood Knights. See, we've got the like purple barding on the horse and the knight's armor. Got some gold and some red and some teal. Kind of an interesting color scheme. I think I want to bring the red accents from the armor on the horse into into Lauka Vai's armor. But I think these two, they fit together. Like, they look like they're fighting for the same team, right? I think also it is impossible when you have little models on horses, like, how is anyone in this world not constantly just, let me get another one fished out of this work in progress for, hang on. But if you're not taking your little horsies with your little guys on them and just having them like gallop past each other whenever, just woo. If you're not doing that, like what are you doing? Are you having fun? Are you okay? Is your life, I mean, no one's okay. Let's be real. Your life is not going in the direction that you want it, probably. But everybody should take their little horses and just charge them across the table a little bit. That is fun. That is good to do. But I'm hoping that, you know, this looks cohesive. That she looks like she belongs with these knights and that they belong with her. And then I have, like, this kind of... I was trying to do, like, a ocean-looking base, so I have this, like, shoreline, and then this is the water with some Vallejo water texture. I think it looks okay. kind of looks like waves. It's not perfect. But yeah, that's sort of what my Soulblight army project that I abandoned to paint crew boys looks like. We'll see if I ever get back to that. Sorry, lads. Vampires are cool and all. We like vampires. I just kind of like orcs better. You know, it's the natural order of things. I was so good, I was like, I already have 40k orcs, so for Age of Sigmar, I'll choose something different. I was like, I don't even like the big old, like, iron jaws, and I'm not really into the old sculpts that the bone splitters have, so this works out perfectly. Then those fucking nerds had to go and release Cruel Boys, which gave me, like, Dark Crystal Jim Henson vibes. And I was hooked. I was hooked. Orcs are the protagonists, I'm telling you. If I were the one out there writing GW stories, you think I wouldn't make orcs the protagonists? I have a lot of thoughts about orcs, about goblins, about Ideneth Deepkin. And I'm gonna start getting some thoughts about Tau. Once I get my hands on the codex and stuff. A couple people have asked me if I have made up my own Tau lore yet. And the answer is I'm definitely going to, but not yet. Not just yet. Gotta wait until I get my hands on the actual text before I can bastardize it. There's only one book point of view. Listen, if the orcs were writing the textbooks on everybody else, they'd be a lot funnier and a lot less grimdark, so that's probably why they don't. But I feel like the orcs should at least be allowed to write their own book from their perspective, as opposed to Space Marines being like, yeah, they're cruel and evil and stinky and they live in the swamps and are bad. Just saying, like, was that what an orc would say about themselves? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What am I painting tonight? I am painting the Bolt Boys that I had misplaced the other day and was having a minor freak out about not being able to find. These Bolt Boys are the actual last models for my 2,000 point list. I had finished up my 1,500 points and, and like I had excess. But these are the last ones that actually fit into my 2,000 points. So this is the final thing that I need to paint to have my army ready for the Adepticon tournament. Yeah, these are the final guys in the army. And then I gotta, do all the other stuff, like mix up resin for their bases and all that stupid crap that I've been doing. 'Cause I'm just a little bit fucking extra when it comes to these orcs. I tell you one thing, I am never fucking including pour resin on all of the bases as a step for my army ever again. That was such a poorly thought out choice. It looks cool, but if you're considering putting your models in a soda swamp, let me give you the advice of don't fucking do that. You have a wonderful night, Chris. Enjoy stuffing your face, getting some sleep. I hope that you successfully sleep in until 5 and have a lovely, relaxing day tomorrow. I will definitely be on the Discord, so feel free to, if you're hobbying and you're like, oh, check this out, send it my way. I'd love to see it. Thanks for joining us. You have a very good night. But yeah, Just doing the typical painting orcs in the orc color scheme that you've already seen on this channel, on these streams, but apparently people tend to just put them on in the background while they're hobbying, which is really cool. I guess that's like, you know, the same thing that I do with podcasts and audiobooks, so the visuals might not be as important, which is kind of new for me. Very interesting. I have plans to work on, like, a real video for this channel, and it's one that I think I'm going to be really proud of when it's done, because I want to do more stop motion for the intro. I've been really wanting to do more stop motion with my little Mothman puppet that I have now, and yeah, I'm hoping that I can get all the stop motion that I need done tomorrow. So that's why it's taken so long. Is I need to, you know, not always do elaborate intros so I can finish things, but sometimes the idea is just too good and you sit down and you want to do it, and then you're just like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Plus everybody loves stop motion, I think, in the end. Aw, that's cool. I'm glad that you have this as something to listen to in the background while you hobby. That's very cool for me. Like, I don't mind being I know how soothing it is to have background noise. There is moomins background noise in this stream because I love some soothing background noise. I used to write a whole lot. That was kind of what I did as a hobby before finding miniature painting. And I like mini painting better because, unlike writing where you have to do a lot of work until you have a finished product that you can kind of hold and potentially show off to a few people who might read it, miniature painting, you can be done with the model at any point, hold it up and show it to someone, and they can be like, that's cool. And it's also tactile, which is really fun. That's a nice aspect of miniature painting as opposed to writing. Still like to write, I just don't as feverishly as I used to. Anyway, I used to always have Disney movies that I'd memorized, like just the old Disney cartoon, like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was almost always on the TV because I would just put it on for background noise to write to. It was familiar enough to me that it wasn't distracting, so I'd have that going and I'd sit down and watch it 3 or 4 times in a row and come out with like 2,000 words written, and that is the kind of feverish fugue state that I finished my writings in. One day I'll get back to it, but I'm really happy with mini painting for now. It's a nice spot for me to be in. So I'm happy to be background noise, I think, is the point that I was trying to make, and stumbling all over there. It's good to have that, especially if you're just in a situation where you're like, listen, I don't want to socialize, but I don't want to feel like I'm alone either. Feel like having someone just mutter around in the background's probably a pretty good fit for that. You said you were hobbying. What are you working on, by the way? Would love to know. Trying to remember what you told me last that you were working on, but I do not have the memory for that. Yeah, I really wish I had found this years ago as well. I feel like it could have definitely have helped me through a lot of, like, college anxiety and shit like that. Or, if not anything, like, younger, like... Certainly it would not have made me, popular amongst friends in high school, but I was already weird anyway, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. And mini painting has helped me get through some pretty tough stuff that I had to go through recently, so I'm very grateful that I found it. I'm not really sure what I would do without something that kind of makes my anxiety shut up every now and again. Even if it does, you know, wear out my arms, eyes, back, and other things that I need for concentration and employment sometimes. Yeah, the mammoth centaur! You mentioned that. You mentioned that. I distinctly remember a mammoth centaur being mentioned. I'm excited to see that. You're on our Discord, I've seen you there, so... you know where to post that so I can see it, which is great. Working on a sci-fi dog thing and some bears. Are they just like, you know, bears that you would find in the woods, or are they like robot bears from space? I don't think robot bears from space is what they are. I think if they were robot bears from space, you would have told me. But I decided to ask that question anyway. Lobster, just like Hector is not allowed to get into my vase of flowers, you also not able to get into my vase of flowers. And you're also basing Fenris, because you have to do something while the wash is dry. Fair enough, fair enough. Finding something to do while the wash is dry is definitely a part of the hobby that I struggle with sometimes. I'm like, ooh, what's on my desk that I can also paint? What is within arm's reach that I can just slap a coat of something on while another thing dries? Cave bears from one of the D&D. Okay. Cave bears are fine. Cave bears are cool. I can vibe with some cave bears. My Tau haven't shipped yet, and that's fine. I'm a patient person. Sort of. I want my Tau. I wish, as much as I am enjoying painting these orcs, because they're familiar and I know the paint scheme, I want to be painting Tau. Isn't that weird? I just have ideas for them, and I'm like, yeah, I want to have the little chunky commander suits in my hands so I can start slapping paint on them. But that's probably just because I have to paint the crossbow parts of these. That's not very interesting. You know, maybe with the Tau, I will try not to put every pattern known to man all over their suits. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, cool. The mammoth creature is on the Discord. Excellent. I'm very excited. There's so much that's been posted on the Discord since this stream started. And I'm extremely excited to take a look at it once it's done. It's like my little reward, my little treat. Like, ooh, you did a stream, and you asked people to post photos of stuff, and they did post photos of that stuff. So when you're done the stream, you get to check it out. It's also a useful thing to do if I'm waiting for a wash to dry. I can check out the stream. Check out the Discord, but, you know. Right now, I'm just in base coating forever hell. That's the problem when you work with 3 million colors for one goddamn army. Will my Tau be an efficient paint scheme? We're gonna try. You know what? That's gonna be a goal. To use less different colors, less patterns, and just see how we like that. Because I think the Tau lend themselves well to, like, more of a color blocking situation than a let's put checkers everywhere situation. Just pick one pattern. But it's so hard to choose. I mean, you got zebra stripes, cheetah print, checkerboard, whatever I did on the feathers for that vulture that took 20 years. The patterns. Waffle cone, candy cane stripes. There's so much in this world that has lovely patterns to it. Don't you just want to slap all of them together on one single miniature? It's certainly been a lesson, though, in, like, what's a good choice for an army scheme and what's a bad choice. It's kind of hard to know what you will or won't like doing for a huge-ass army until you actually start painting it. I mean, okay, maybe it's not for people who have brains, but I seem to learn best by making the mistake and learning from it, as opposed to examining the situation and thinking it out beforehand. Elden Ring today was a perfect example. I was willing to fight the same boss, like, 4 or 5 times in a row and die to it each and every time to learn how to better counter that boss, rather than just trying different techniques every time. Like, I just did the same thing over and over again, and then I was like, oh hey, this isn't working. Maybe after the 5th death, I should switch it up a little bit. Don't know why it takes my brain so much longer to realize that than other people sometimes, but yeah. Oh, hi Lobster, you're here. Did you get any paint on your paws? I hope you didn't. Lobster's up on top of the desk, so I have to guard the paint for a moment and hope he doesn't knock over my laptop, because he's going to try and jump onto the top of the display case, I'll betcha. Did you have to get up there, buddy? You had to cuddle me while I was playing video games, which made it 10 times more difficult than if you had just decided to not do that. We learn by doing? Yeah. I do anyway. Especially when it comes to video game mistakes. But in terms of picking out army color schemes, it's definitely been... Here, let me clear space for you to hop down, baby. There you go. No, that's an empty teacup. That's not for you to drink out of. That was just so that you could hop down easier. That was just for you to hop down easier, Lobster. I don't want you to drink out of the teacup. Okay, yeah, there you go. Oh, you found a snow basing technique you like. Is it a particular material or like combination of techniques and materials? I'd like to know. Snow and winter basing is quite fun. I don't think that's what I'll be doing for my towel. As much as I like applying like little frost effects to things. But winter color schemes I do quite enjoy. You're going for the extra points on Dana Howe's Hobby Golf League. Yeah, her league is awesome. I'm bad at keeping track of things and also counting. So I'm just gonna count how many miniatures I finished this year, as opposed to, like, trying to do the golf thing. Since I finished so many Cruel Boys this month, I'm pretty proud of that. But I also I bought Tau, which is probably, I mean, it might even out in the end. It might even out in the end. I did sell some miniatures, but I have not been keeping track of, like, the in to out ratio. Slurry of woodland scenic snow fog mixed with matte acrylic medium and a little bit of PVA for extra strength. Okay, cool. I'm sure I'll have another winter project before long to try that out on. I always tend to do things out of season. Like right now it's winter and snowy, and I just kind of want it to be springtime and warm. But as soon as it is springtime and warm, I will crave Christmas again. I'll just be like, can I get some holidays up in here? It's very silly, but that just seems how it is for me. Have I forgotten to do metal bits? Almost assuredly. Will I notice that later as I am painting in other details? Yes. As long as it's not running, experimenting with different... Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. It's honestly good to know. Got the majority of the base coats done for these bold boys, which is pretty exciting. And we have 36% battery left and a charger that works. So we're doing well. Been defaulting to sand bases for a year and a half because you're running an Egypt-themed D&D campaign. Yeah, I imagine that would involve a lot of sand. Can see how knowing how to do that. Yeah, the variety is fun. I really like doing just grass base, like just grass flocking, like for Blood Bowl. All of my Blood Bowl teams so far have had like alternate basing schemes where I'm like, oh, you gotta look like you're on the moon. You gotta look like you're from Mars. You gotta look like you're from a bowling alley, so we're gonna do bowling alley carpet on the base. But honestly, if I'm being real with you, I love just how simple, like how nice just simple green flocking on a base for grass looks. I'll have to do an army where that's like the entire basing scheme is just some green flocking. I think it'll be a fun change of pace. But that's one of my favorite basings to do. Just put glue on the base and dip it in the green, and you dip off the excess, and then boom. It looks good. It looks like grass. That's what I did for my my Zote for Blood Bowl. Hashtag put more Zotes in everything. I'm painting this Merc Knob as well, just because I have him and he's not painted yet. Actually, I have like a lot of the other stuff from just the Dominion boxes hanging around, but it doesn't like fit into my army lists. I figure I'm gonna paint it up anyway, just because it's kind of fun, and then I'll just have, have the models if I want to change up something in the list or anything like that. I think I'm supposed to do these teeth metallic as well. We'll come back to that. Grass bases can be fun too. They really can. I think they look good for zero effort, which is something that I need in my life most days. I'm often a person who can't be bothered to do too much more than the minimum. I know that's hard to believe when you see me painting checkers on everything. But in my general day-to-day, I'm like, I'm not being paid enough for this, so I'm not going to care about it. That is entirely just customer service me. It's like, oh, am I being paid extra to solve this problem? No, I'm not, so I will continue to do my mediocre, crappy job. And if you've worked customer service, that is a justified perspective to have and a good way to survive a crappy position. You like making wood plank bases with stir sticks. I've tried that a couple of times. I find it difficult to like trim the stir sticks to be circular to like fit the base in the end. That's what I really seem to not enjoy about stir stick bases. I don't know if maybe I just need some stronger scissors or clippers or something, but I always seem to have issues with that part. I'm not. Yep. Like, you really think, I don't know. Like, all of these places are like, we are customer obsessed. We want you to go above and beyond for our customers. And I'm like, yeah, but you won't go down the block for your fucking employees. So if it is not going to get me fired, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to do it. Like, so much of this is like, they want me to do follow-up calls and shit sometimes. Um, I guarantee you, if I'm not being scored for not doing those, and that is not something that I can be fired for, I do not see myself doing those on a regular basis. Just don't see it happening. Use a Dremel to trim the base. That's cool. Obviously, for legal purposes, anything that I say about any job that I had in the past or any job that I currently am employed at is completely for the laughs. I would never do anything other than exactly what my job expects of me all of the time. This is all for satire and comedy's sake. Nobody sue me or fire me. There. I think I've covered all my bases. I don't have a Dremel. That's one of those things that looks cool but also scary. I'm like, this is a real tool for people who have hobby experience outside of just miniature painting. I don't know if I see myself as the type to own a Dremel, but they look super useful and cool. I hear you, Lobster. I know. You just used the litter box, and I didn't immediately get up from my position here to go clean it. How dare I? Pretty safe as far as power tools go. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's sweet. That sounds like a really good and practical birthday gift. I love a good practical birthday gift. It's I had a housewarming party recently, and it was interesting to see what I got from different people for housewarming presents. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but one of my friends insisted that I make a registry just because she was like, I don't know what to get you. And I'm like, just come to the party. And she's like, no, please do this. So I put a couple of things down. And a couple other people ended up buying stuff from it, but that was cool. Like, that was stuff that I was just gonna buy myself anyway. Like curtains, you know? I needed some curtains. They're very nice curtains, and I like them a lot. But then I also got like a yearly planner with the Mothman on it. Obviously, perfect, well suited to who I am as a person. I got a tiny pin that says "Ask me about my pronouns," which is cool as hell. Love that. And I got a book where the main character is non-binary. So some strange presents that not everybody would have gotten for a housewarming, but stuff that I absolutely love. It's quite pleased and surprised by it all. The curtains and some of the cooking stuff is on the more practical side, but books are always a good gift. Been trying to read more this year. It is called A Psalm for the Wild Built I think it's by Becky Chambers. It's really good. I finished it the other day, and I liked it a lot. I've been trying to read more this year. That was like one of my New Year's resolutions. And so far this year, I've finished 3 books, which is like leagues better than I was doing last year. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's good. It's a good book. It's about like a robot and a monk. So like it's cool. It's not typical like story settings and things like that. And it's short. It's only like 150 pages or so. So I was able to knock it out pretty quickly, but it's still good. It was a nice, short, like palatable book. Yeah, I'm trying. Not always great about reading. I used to be like really super fast at it as like a kid in school. But then I unfortunately did this thing where I didn't have math classes to goof off in anymore and didn't read as much, so I mean, I have dyscalculia, so math's basically just an impossible subject for me to learn. And, you know, I realized that I just wasn't going to get most math, and I would have to get by pretty much guessing my way through tests and stuff like that. At some point, you just give up. You're like, I can't fucking do algebra, so as long as I pass this class with a D, I'll be fine. Which is kind of how it happened, but I would just read books in class. But in the adult world, you don't so much have math classes that you can decide to read through. Thank you. I think it's rather well done too. And I have plans for books I want to purchase in March when they come out. So, I've got stuff on like my to read list, which is good. I'm gonna keep trying, and hopefully get through a few more books this year. And figure out how to reincorporate taking some time to read into just part of my daily routine. Maybe not daily. Maybe daily's probably a bit too much. Weekly is more manageable. To remember to run the dishwasher before bed too. Gotta have my pancake flipper all clean so I can live like a moomin on Saturday. Make myself some pancakes. This is later than I usually paint, so I'm probably gonna be calling it just about now. I wanted to get a good 2 hours or so of painting, and it looks like I've just about hit the 2-hour mark, so that's good. I want to finish up putting the brown on this guy for his little bowstring. I'll probably call it a night. Make sure that I've hit the go button on the dishwasher so I can have pancakes tomorrow. And not power up Elden Ring as much as I want to play more. If I hit go on that, I will play till 3 a.m. And it will be bad. It's nice though. I haven't felt this way about a video game in quite some time, where I just want to keep playing it. So pretty hype, pretty excited. It does mean almost assuredly that Final Fantasy VII will be forgotten about. But, yeah. We'll see. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end. Alright. But, for now, for this stream, that's gonna be it. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here. And have a good rest of your night.